Thank you.
All right, it is 9 o'clock, and I will call this special call budget workshop meeting to order. It is a special call meeting, so that means we can only attend to business that is on the agenda. We have 3 items. After we do the 3 items, we will adjourn, and then we will go straight into our budget workshop after that. So, first item of business we have is Mike Rogers. And I just saw him.
Here you go.
TJ, will you escort him in here? He's tardy. Tase him if you need to.
I was like, I know he's here.
Yeah, all right.
Nice mug today. Yeah, I like that.
So, what I have on the agenda today is part of the ambulance supplemental payment program. It's a new program that's just set up for the state. We've not known about it for a long time, so all this has kind of been short notice, and it's been a lot really confusing. But basically, what will happen is we'll have to pay. It's very similar to the House Bill 8 that we do. We pay in. House Bill 8, you take your Medicaid transports, you multiply that times 5.5%, and it goes to the state. The state sends it to the federal government, they match it, and they send it back based on the distribution of Medicaid patients to transport. That one's required by the state. They didn't give you an option. This one's voluntary, so you don't have to do it, but we would pay in about $95,000, and then we would get all that back, anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000 is what we will collect. So to be able to get to that money, what we have to do is a revenue cost collection. And the cost collection is we've never done one quite to this extent. We did one for Medicaid that required very specific things. But this one you can be audited. So the contract you have for you is to let this company do it, to do the audit. And they do take a 10%, which is on the very last page. And then as we work through this, as we learn how to do this, maybe we can look at in the future workflow and maybe cutting that out later on. But since it's new, there's only a few places in the United States that does this kind of cost collection type thing. And so that's my recommendation, is to go with this company. The payments should start coming in around January, this coming January. So it's good because it'll be another, we always have a deficit in EMS, and we're always trying to find ways, and this is another way to cut another, possibly $300,000 out, which is really good. So.
Okay, now I want you to take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay. All right, any questions about the contract? We're always looking for new revenue streams, so.
We are. Has Chris had a chance to?
Yes, he did. He reviewed it, and he and I went over it, and I think he's spoken with Julie about it. Have you all talked? No? Okay. But he and I have spoken about it and went over everything that he had marked.
Okay. I was just looking at the years. I guess if it's not performing or doing what we think it should be doing, we can exit out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Appropriately, if it's more trouble than it's worth, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I definitely think that we could look at in the future just doing it ourselves and saving a little bit of money. But since it's the first year, we have a new treasurer, it's budget season, and there's a lot of things I think that would be. And it's due May 15th, so.
That's why we had to get it on the agenda today.
Right.
Yeah, we had a short deadline there.
Well, with those answered, I'll make a motion to approve and authorize the signing of the agreement or contract, whatever it is.
Second. Public consulting. Okay, we have a motion by Magistrate Gay, a second by Magistrate Cullen. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Have a good day.
You too.
Mike, come around for a minute, I've got something.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next up is Recycling Director Angie Munson. Tracy, good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Good.
Morning.
All right, what I am presenting this morning is AmeriCorps application, which most of you know that AmeriCorps is just a national program. It provides people to give back to their communities. They have partnered with the Kentucky Education Council, and they're allowing these members to focus on education, the environment, which educational lessons, programs, activities, going into the schools, they're just for that purpose only. So I am put an application to ask for one full-time, and the full-time cost on the application, as you notice, is $8,925, and that's for 1,700 hours, so it's basically a full-time, and that's all we're responsible for.
The county would be responsible for that payment.
That payment only.
Okay.
The rest they would take care of if they got benefits or anything like that. We would have a full-time employee for 1 year. In the application, you'll see what we're required to have. It's
That's
just
kind
like
of a bargain.
It kind of is a whole lot of a bargain.
Just want to point that out.
Yeah, it's a real big bargain. We're just responsible for having them like a laptop or a computer in a desk space and things like that. And I think it would be excellent because I can't be at the schools full time. We're trying to upgrade our recycling and all this stuff, so I think it would be actually a godsend to have somebody like that.
And this person would be in the schools.
That would be their focus, is
Okay.
environmental
Education in the schools, okay.
they're not to be used for, the labor to go out and get recycling or recycle. They are specifically for environmental programs, education, or anything like that.
We've talked about this before. Have we ever had one?
No,
Okay, but
not as long as I've been here, we have
it
not.
just seems like when I first started, we talked about an AmeriCorps worker or something. Okay.
No, this is the first time.
Okay.
And the KEEC, the Kentucky Environmental Education, they have what they call the EEL course, so. I know they're cutting some of the funding federally for this, so it's just I'm just hoping that KEC has the money put back for this, so we're going to apply for it anyway, and we'll hope for the
So
best.
it's a maybe, we may or may not get someone, okay.
Because I noticed the federal was cutting some of that program out, so I don't know if the KEC has some money that's just sort of stashed back for that, or.
And the deadline for this is May 16th.
They told me the 12th on the phone, and then when I got this new update, it said the 16th. I went, oh well.
Yeah, but I mean, it still needs to be done.
Yeah, it needs to be done and in.
It's a quick
so.
turnaround on that.
I went a little far on the application, but I'm hoping it'll pay off for us. So
So this
When does it
is,
start? Sorry.
go ahead.
this probably will start. Actually, I think they award them the timeline sometime in June, and then you have to advertise, look for a person. So you're probably talking
August.
September, August,
Yeah.
September.
So it'll be next year's budget?
Yes.
Yeah,
Next
and
year's budget.
Shannon's already aware of that, so
Yes.
yes, it'll be
Yeah.
next year's budget.
Cool. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, have a motion by Magister Cullen,
Second.
second by Magister Sleeper. Any discussion on the application? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
Judge,
Yes, sir.
since I was out of the room, I best abstain.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't affect the outcomes.
Magister Cullen abstains. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Miss Elena, Finance Officer.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Alrighty. I am here today. I need permission to order a vehicle for the Sheriff's Department. As y'all know, we had one totaled, and it was a brand new one. It only had 23,000 miles on it, and it was
So
totaled.
sad.
So, I need permission to order this vehicle from Don Franklin. Don Franklin is ordering this vehicle from Tennessee, but we did not want to give them permission to go pick up said vehicle until you all gave the okay. We did receive an insurance check, an insurance payment for this vehicle in the amount of $38,000. We're going to be purchasing the vehicle for $41,815 from Don Franklin, so that means we will need to supplement $3,815 when the vehicle arrives.
Does that include the package that?
It does not. This is just the vehicle. Now, it is a 2025 Durango Pursuit vehicle. It is all-wheel drive is what they need, but that's not the striping. And a lot of the equipment is coming from the vehicle that was totaled because some of the equipment wasn't damaged. So they're going to take that and put it back into this new vehicle.
So is there any new equipment that will have to be purchased that was damaged that you know of?
As far as I know, according to Sam, a couple of lights and then striping.
Okay, so lights and striping.
So is this price that we're approving today, does that include that, all that, or is that gonna be a later thing?
That'll be a
Well,
later thing.
That was kind of, Lena had brought this up to me before, that was a question. Previously, in years past, we've always bought vehicles, and I think the sheriff's department kind of usually outfitted them. Are you guys gonna do that, or is the ask gonna be that the fiscal court outfits this as well when it comes in?
I would ask that.
Right? What kind of question is that?
I would ask that.
I thought my preference
Preferably.
tilted him enough. He didn't.
Open the door to that
But I can't remember if this was a ARPA purchase vehicle.
I
If
think it was an ARPA vehicle.
It was, you guys outfitted it if it was an ARPA vehicle.
We bought any new vehicles last year, didn't we?
I was gonna say,
No.
that's too new for an ARPA vehicle.
Yeah.
A 2023, the one that,
It was 2023.
You said it barely had any miles on it. I was confused.
23,000.
23,000, yeah.
yeah, I think.
I don't know why it was so low at that, but
Okay.
Do you know what the lights and striping package, got an estimate of what that would cost?
around 10,000 usually, but it's,
That's
like
what
I
I
said,
was
was-
thinking, too.
I think this, what would be replaced would be the striping kit. Of course, they've gone up since the last time that I looked at them. It was like $800 to $1,000, I think, for the stripes, and then, I don't
The
know.
lights, okay.
I
I was
don't-
thinking
Can we
around
get the
10.
vehicle in and then
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
next fiscal court meeting
Sure.
or whatever these
I was
guys
just curious.
do?
Just curious, yeah.
So I guess I need two things today. I need approval to order,
Okay.
and then I would like to have the approval to pay upon delivery.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Magistrate Gay, second by Magistrate Cullen, to order the new vehicle from mission to order, pay upon arrival.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Can I add one thing since it's not on the agenda,
Absolutely.
but,
Is it relate to this?
yes, absolutely. Sheriff's Office, to the Sheriff's Office. I just want to report that Recruit Deputy Clem is officially started the in-person academy Sunday. On Monday morning, you have your physical exam, or your physical fitness exam, and then your first exam of the 4 weeks that he spent online training before going to the academy. He got a 92 on his first exam, written exam, which is great. And he maxed out or best that he could on the physical fitness. So
Oh, that's great.
he's already made me proud. So
Yeah, yeah. He's been
putting
working
in
on
hard
it.
work. So
It's been putting in a lot of hard
Yes.
work.
That's great.
It's a good one.
Great.
thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right.
Yes.
Y'all have a good day. All right, that concludes our business on the agenda, so I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion
White
by
part.
Magistrate Bodner, a second by Magistrate Cullen. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. We're adjourned.